distinguished guests, I first of all would like to extend my gratitude to all of you. Actually, thank you very much to the President of Society, Aslı, Neslihan, the General Secretary, and the members of the Executive Committee, and of course each and every one of you who actually contributed to the organization of this forum. Their motto is doing the right deed together. That's quite a meaningful line. For many long years at different parts of the world, I had the opportunity to work, and when I came back to Turkey, both considering the countries that I actually worked and also in Turkey, I thought to myself two things are very important so as to make a good investment. The word thing is business ethics, and the second thing is, I would say, the supply chain. These two topics, why so important, maybe you can ask to me. Why? Because in particular, sustainability is getting more and more important as a trend, and especially in sustainability, being ethical is extremely important. What is actually the being ethical or acting ethically within the framework of sustainability? To be integral, to be respectful for the environment. Thinking about the supply chain in particular, during the times of the crisis, how important it is. We all observed it, right? Witnessed it, actually. Like in the global mask supply, for example, think about the problems that we experienced. In our country, in particular, it's very important that we actually have some societies working on this. And I actually was the leader in founding of the Turkish Ethics and Reputation Society with 11 members. We started in 2013 in Siemens at the same time. We were a part of the foundation of the society. Why it was so important? As you know, business ethics is very important, which is a major component of sustainability. It's very important. This is the denominator of all the corporations. But it must be a part of the company, but at the same time must be external. Now we are working at this platform, and we are just trying to do the right deed together, and at the same time deploy it all around the country. Think about the conjuncture of the world today. Why it is really important to do the right thing, and why we have to do it all together. You have to actually be acting in good deeds, so you also will be treated as such. This is also a life motto. If you are integral, if at the same time you work hard, it doesn't matter whether at home or outside, everything would be better, because you know ethics started from childhood. And it is something that is acquired. The other thing is, between ethics and the value, there is also a close connection. We actually have to strengthen our values for ethical purposes. And we, for example, should never be afraid of changing some of the norms in the society. What we mean by ethics should not actually create an sensation that makes us uncomfortable, because ethics is not something that bears any restrictions. It is something important for the future. Sustainable success is only possible with accountability and being ethical. If you would like to be a fair, a just, and a reliable corporation, then you have to do the right thing all the time. People who are in lieu of ethics and accountability would be successful in the long run, and at the same time they will have the chance for more chances of cooperation. If we wish to have a sustainable success, the only way is actually to be responsible, to be ethical. Therefore, confidence is an important term to underline. As Siemens Turkey, congratulating 165th in Turkey and 174 globally. And ethics is actually in the DNA. And Xenophon Siemens, our founder, stated that I will never sell the future for an immediate earning. I think this is a reflection of how we attach importance to ethics. Ethics, but being responsible, being accountable, that must be a part of your way of doing business, and we actually never compromise from these values. So I can say the trust and confidence is at the same time a promise given by our corporation. If you give a promise, it should have a value. This is the only way that you can actually protect your company and your brand. From time to time, corporations do survive from challenges. It is quite reasonable. What is important is that during those challenging times, how you react. And at the same time, drawing some lessons from your mistakes. You should never close your eyes. I've been working for the last 45 years, and when I make an assessment, I always draw conclusions from the mistakes. So it actually makes me stronger all the time. Especially if we would like to have a sustainable success in the future. Compliance must be a part of the company culture. In this way, I'm not only speaking about regulatory issues. It's all about the way of doing business. And it's something that should be done not only within the company, but at the same time, we have to also reflected to the outside, especially in terms of compliance and ethics. It is important to support it with several trainings and collaborative works. In 2009, there is the Siemens Truth Initiative. That's a global program that we have, and as a part of this program with World Bank and with the European Investment Bank, we had a contract of 15 years, and we so as to fight against unethical actions, and over $100 million worth of an investment will be made. And these are all these such initiatives, all these activities. What is the point in doing them all? Why? Because if we would like to be successful, to be a successful company, we always should speak up about ethics. And so ethics should not only cover business processes, but at the same time it also covers our responsibility for the future. Recently, both in our country and in the world, as you all know, we were subject to several disasters like the wild forest fires and the floods and changes at the sea. And these are strong signals given to humanity by the nature and the world, and the nature is saying that I cannot stand this anymore. And if you're a responsible person, you actually should always consider this. Why? And especially we just want the world to be much more reasonable, and therefore we are all together on a common sense. We have a common goal, and to go to this common goal, we know that there is no other way but just to be taking responsibility. If you would like to leave a sustainable future for the upcoming generations, it is now the high time to act responsibly. And Siemens is doing this under the degree initiative. This is a priority for Turkey. For example, decarbonization, ethical governance, efficient use of resources, employment, and equality and diversity. In saying diversity in particular, it is both for gender, for religion, and for race, actually not having any discrimination, and at the same time for sustainable future. It's all about being together. I think it is with this sense of responsibility that we act, and so as to do the right thing, especially we are just making our sustainability focus more clear. When it is about ethics, we always have to keep the horizon open. So in concluding my words, I would say the topic of ethics is a part of our lives, and it has several different dimensions, both from the business perspective, that's the responsibility for our daily routine. It is important to do the right thing. We should always embrace this. And I think the role of Turkish Ethics and Reputation Society is extremely important in here. Thank you very much for all who contributed to the organization.